This one is what I call a catalogue kit. So in about 1987-88, I'm going to have to look up the year of the catalogue. I got a Pearl catalogue. In fact, it was this catalogue here. And I actually have the physical copy of that. That's actually a PDF. But I have the physical copy of that catalogue still. So I'm going to say in storage. And when I say in storage, I mean it's in a pile of papers at my parents' house still, because I've never got around to bringing all my old magazines and modern drummers and things over here. But I actually physically have that catalogue, and I remember lovingly going through it, as many of us did and probably still do, looking at all the lovely pictures and thinking, oh man, they look so cool, and like, you know, I'd love one of those. And 30 odd years later, I finally have one of those, and this has been the case, sort of, I guess, sort of many times over the last few years, and I think I've probably mentioned it in a couple of videos as well. But you know, I think me, same as everyone else, you look through the catalogue, you see things, you kind of gravitate towards them, and sometimes you're lucky enough to buy those drums sort of there and then when they're out, and sometimes it takes you 3 decades. But in this instance, as I said, it took me 30 odd years, but I finally got a Pearl BLX. I always had a bit of a fascination with the older Pearl kits from the sort of late, let's say late 80s to sort of early to mid 90s. I mean, it's just a period in general, actually. I mean, that's when the two Maple style classics, that's the period they were both born. The mid 90s was the Janista, and sort of 89 was the period that I got my first kit, which is the Premier XPK. But as I said, I remember looking in the catalogue. I remember seeing, in fact, this picture here, and I remember seeing that and thinking, I think it was the red. I mean, this kit is in Sequoia Red, and I think it was something about the red which kind of jumped out at me. And you know, I've always kind of just wanted a kit from that period, a Pearl kit from that period. You know, and I wasn't really that bothered if it was a sort of a DLX or a BLX or an MLX. You know, but it was just, I just always wanted something that represented that period, and that period in my life as well. I mean, I was 16 when that catalogue came out, and you know, it was just, I think everything in it for the most part was a long way off in the distance, if it was ever there. In terms of affordability, I mean, very, very naively, just as an example, I remember when I first started getting into drums and things, I remember thinking to myself, oh, China cymbal, I'm never going to be able to afford one of those. And you know, one of the first cymbals I actually ever bought was a China. In fact, it was the Red Colour Sound 5 China, which I still have 30 something years later. And I got that for £30 from Foots in Golden Square. And I mean, obviously it was second hand, and you know, it had been played, and it's still being played, and it's a great sounding cymbal though. But you know, that was the kind of mentality I had at the time. It was just basically one of those things that you kind of you see as far about there, and you never think that you're going to get older and you're going to get a job, and you may actually have some cash at some point. But this was this was actually a kit I saw quite recently. I mean, I only got this kit as we're doing this video now. I've had this kit for a whole week and a half, and I saw it on eBay, and oddly enough, actually, the shop I saw it at, and some of you will recognise it from the photos, because I'll put the full thing up. But I spoke to the very nice man there, and they actually had, very strangely, two kits, two Pearl BLX kits, both in Sequoia Red, both in pretty much the same sizes and configuration. And one was this one from the late 80s, sort of about 88 or so, 88, 89, and the other one was from about 5 years later. And I phoned him up, and I was having a chat with him. I said, look, I've got to ask, these must have just come from the same fella, yeah? Because it would be a bit strange for them not to have done, because, you know, they were pretty much, as I said, they were pretty much the same configuration, setup and everything. And he said, no, they were actually two separate drummers. This is apparently an ex-endorser kit. It has been played. There are some marks on it. There are some scuffs on it. Mostly really around the bass drum hoops, which is nothing really that surprising. You know, I bought this, really it's a player's kit. I bought it to be representative of that catalogue kit which I saw as a lowly teenager. I wasn't, I mean, it's not in terrible condition at all. It's a sort of 6 out of 10, 6, 7 out of 10. The worst thing about it really is actually the floor tom. The hoops need replacing. They're basically rusty. The inside of the screws inside the floor tom were a little bit corroded, a little bit rusty as well, and it had that nasty seepage into the wood, which, short of sanding it out, which I probably couldn't do at this point because it's just too far gone. You know, I don't really care. I mean, you don't tend to look inside you know, you don't tend to look inside a floor tom anyway and then, you know, make judgments. And it's, you know, it's happened on other kits that I've seen over the years. It's one of those things, you know, it just happens if you put a drum into sort of storage in the garage or something, and the condensation and the elements and whatever just get to it and stuff happens. You know, as it goes though, I did actually clean the all the metalwork up inside the drum. And you know, for the most part, actually, there's a couple of the washers that are a little bit corroded, but other than that, they've come out pretty nicely, and the corrosion is now gone. So really, all the corrosion and rust is all gone. It's really just those marks that you can see, and as I said, it's not really anything that bothers me. I do intend to get a new set of original super hoops because really they are a little bit tatty. Now, the odd thing about this setup, and this is actually the whole kit, and rather sadly, I needed to set this up in a bit of a hurry because I've been doing some other videoing tonight, and I even though I've actually lifted my seat up probably about 1.5 inches, I still can't really play with the toms up here. It's something I'm getting used to, but because these are all power toms, it ends up the toms feel like they're up here. You know, if I had all 3 of them up, and I did try it. I spent at least an hour. You know, I got the old rack bar out, the curved rack bar out, and I had all 3. It just didn't feel comfortable, and I was spending so much time doing that when I needed to actually set the kit up so I could do what I've just done. You know, so but the kit itself actually is 10, 12, 13, 14. And a 16-inch floor tom, and the 22 by 16-inch kick drum. The snare drum on here at the moment, I thought I'd dig this out actually. It's the old Custom Z 14 by 6.5. I just figured it would go nicely. Strangely though, in fact, no, not very strangely at all. I bought this a little while ago. I haven't done a video on this yet. This is actually the Professional Series snare drum from around the same period. It's a Japanese steel-made drum. It's a 14 by 6.5. It's in pretty nice nick, and it works perfectly. Actually, I think this is one of those things where I mean, this could be deemed to be, you know, I mean, it is period correct. I could have used that. I could obviously use this, and I've got 4 free floaters. Well, I say 3 brass free floaters over there, all of which again would have been period correct. But I've got a feeling actually, and I'm doing this off the top of my head, and already you will have seen the photo. I've got a feeling that the kit in the photo though actually had a brass free floater in it. But you know, it doesn't matter. It's all, as I said, period correct. The floor tom, I normally don't do. As I said, I don't normally play with sort of three rack toms. In my wood fiberglass kit, which I do have 8, 10, 12. They are obviously, first of all, they're slightly smaller drums, and they're also traditional sizes as well. So they sit they can sit a little lower over the bass drum. I find those a little bit easier to play. I've not got the specific specs of this kit in terms of depth, but they all are all power toms. That much I can tell you. Oh yes, right. I was going to say. So the weird thing about the kit is that all of the drums except for the floor tom have a lacquered interior, which is the first time I think I've ever come across. It's certainly the first kit I've owned that have a lacquered interior. So that was kind of nice. I have no idea why the floor tom doesn't. Really bizarre. And in fact, I only noticed it after I went to take the thing apart and clean all the interior out. That as I said, I noticed that was the case. But now you could say, oh well, it's been added later. It's entirely possible that was the case. But the strange thing is, and as you'll see from the photo, the whole kit, and they're all of the drums have this same sticker in it. This kit came from a shop, and I remember this shop actually from the 80s, called Drums Incorporated, the Ultimate Drum Store. And this was a shop that was around, well, it was in Hornchurch. I don't know actually, Hornchurch, which is also where Sound Attack had a shop. I don't know if that's any connection there. I'm sure someone will be able to tell me. But so that's basically Hornchurch is on the opposite side of London to where I'm currently sat. And as I said, I never went to Drums Inc, but I absolutely do remember Drums Inc. Certainly, I remember seeing the logo in the back of it, well, in the classifieds, really. So it was even that was a nice little sort of nostalgic thing for me, because I got to see where these drums came from. And I've got a couple of kits that have actually had those stickers on. It was quite common, sort of certainly at that time and before even, for shops to actually put stickers on the drums that they sold. Sometimes they were on the outside. In fact, I have another new to me kit. I've actually bought 3 kits this year. Stuff Corona, eh? I've managed to pick up 3 kits this year, and one of the other kits is a kit from the 1970s actually. And that actually has a similar sticker, but on the outside underneath the badge. And I will do that kit at another point. But and the other kit, the first kit I bought this year, in fact the day the country fell apart, was actually the lovely green sparkle, which I think is just out of view. I think it seems to be just out of view, but the lovely green sparkle Tama Star Classic Maple. I just wanted to do this video, now as I've been doing some work with this kit tonight anyway, and I kind of, I've been a bit short on drummy, actual playing drums content recently because of well, life things, and it's getting a little harder to find the time to do this at the moment. So apologies on that front. There will be more from this kit in the future, and I will possibly. This is at the moment. This is set up as the 12 and the 16. As I said, I've got the 14 down here, which I'll slap on at some point in the very near future, and I may put the 10 or the 13 up as well. Just to change it around a little bit, so you can get a little bit more of sort of sort of variance on what the kit sounds like. But anyway, as I said, you've seen the kit as it was set up in the shop, and if I could actually find a way to comfortably play all of those drums, then I will. But I can't make any promises to that, unfortunately, because I just don't feel up here. It's just not for me. If I can maybe possibly get 2 of the longer tom arms. I've only got the short pearl tom arms, but if I can get 2 of the longer pearl arms that stick in the bass drum, that actually might work, and I might be able to do something then. But that's for the future. Anyway, look, thanks for watching. This is what it looks like, and this is what it sounds like, and I'll see you next time. See ya.